In this video, I'm going to show you how to partially automate reaction videos like this.
I'm calling the president!
By simply going on TikTok, grabbing a URL, downloading the video, creating a reaction video, using a free tool to combine those videos, and it's going to be partially automated. The reason I say partially automated is because it requires you to create a reaction video. All right. And I'm going to show you how to build this for free pretty much right now. So let's jump right in. All right, so before we jump into the automation build, I'm going to give you a bird's eye view of this entire automation so that we know how it works. Okay. Before we actually go build it step by step. So Airtable is going to be our trigger in this automation. And before this runs, we need two things. So the first thing we need is we're going to need the URL for the TikTok video, and then we're going to need your reaction video. So those are the two pieces we need before this automation is going to run. Okay. And those two pieces are going to be put into your Airtable, which I'll show you in a second. Okay. So once this automation runs, the first thing is Appify is going to scrape the video, pull all the metadata, like all the back end information for that TikTok video. Then we're going to download the TikTok video, and then we're going to throw it and upload it to Airtable. Once that's in place, then we are going to take the video that was just downloaded from TikTok along with your reaction video, and then we're going to use Cloudinary to combine those two videos. And that's essentially the entire automation. And then we're going to do some cleaning up where we clean up our Cloudinary database, and then this automation runs at that point. If that sounds too complicated, well, you might be lazy like me and don't want to do this step by step. Well, fortunately, I do have a community over at Skool where you can simply go into the classroom, click on the automations, and then you can have access to all of the automations that I put on here. You simply just have to download the make blueprint, jump back over to make, hit these three buttons, hit on import that blueprint, and then you'll have this entire thing automatically pre-filled for you, so you don't have to build it step by step. Just go over to the Skool community and join us today. All right, as I mentioned, the piece that we need is the Airtable. So let's jump over to Airtable so that we can start this automation. All right, so within Airtable, you simply just need to create a new sheet. And once you create a new sheet, or a new table, then what you want to do is you want to jump over to Forms. It's Forms tab. Once you're on the Forms tab, you hit this plus button where you can generate a new form. Once you generate the new form, you just have to drill it down to just have one field. And in this field, you want to just make sure that it's a single line text. And then you just label it. I labeled my TikTok video URL, hit save. And what you want to do then is you want to jump over to TikTok. And once you're on TikTok, I'm using this video. Let me just pause it. This is a video that was discussed on Club Shay Shay, where Shannon Sharp actually called, or was acting like he was calling the National Guard to help save the other team on the football field. So it was a funny clip. So what you want to do is you want to hit the share button. Then you can get access to the URL. You just want to copy this URL, and you want to jump back over to your form. And let's just hit on preview, jump over to form, you hit paste, hit submit. And once you hit submit, then you can go back to your actual data, and then you will see that the TikTok video URL was listed here. Okay. And then what you want to do is you want to add a few more fields. So the second field you want to add a attachment field. I call it TikTok video, because this is where we will be putting the actual video once we download it from on Appify. And what I also did, I grabbed some metadata. So I want to know how long the video is. In this particular case, the video is 42 seconds. And if we can actually verify that here, if you look on the bottom corner here, you see that it's 42 seconds. So we grab that. So that's good. Just so we know how long the video is, because typically if you want to do like a reel or something, you want to keep it under a minute. 30 seconds ideally, but under a minute is preferred. My reaction video is another field that we added here as an attachment. And then we want to add a last modified time. So once you add last modified time, just to show you, just click on this plus field. And then when we go to find a field, just to type last, and then you just want to enter last modified time and label it as last modified time. Okay. All right. Awesome. So once you have the sheet built, once you build the sheet, and actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, actually, you don't even have to do that. So let's just go here, and we are going to actually start the wrong thing. Let's just grab the URL again. Let's just grab the URL, go here, grab the URL. Let's go here. Let's go to our form. And this form, by the way, is also going to be a public form. So for whatever reason, if you was building an automation for like a client or something, and you just want this form to be public, this will be a public form that they can use. Okay. It is branded with Airtable because I'm using the free account. But if you subscribe to their account, I believe it's $20 a month, you can remove the all the logos, and you can kind of brand it to yourself and make it and beautify this form as well. Okay. So let's just delete this, enter, hit submit. All right, and we can close the preview. And if we go back to data, oops, preview. Okay, so let's hit done. Let's go to data form. Let's see here. I confirm. Let's go here. Let's go here. Enter the submit. Cool. Let's go back to the Airtable. Let's read the data. All right. All right. So I guess I didn't refresh it the first time. So let's delete one of these. Let's delete this one. We're gonna delete that record. All right. And actually, let's delete this record as well. So let's just keep it clean. Let's delete this record as well. And this is where we are starting. Okay. Cool. So now let's build this automation. So the first thing we want to do is, again, we're going to go to Airtable and we want to click on watch records. Okay. Once we watch the records, then we want to click on the base. I'm sorry, I didn't discuss this. So what I'm using right now is called Make. Make.com. Make is an automation tool that allows you to connect multiple applications. Like in this case, we're using Airtable. We're going to use Appify, and then we're going to use Cloudinary, which are the 3 tools we're using today in this automation. But you can connect OpenAI and all the types of software products to Make, and it allows all those programs to communicate with each other. And as I mentioned, you can import and export. Once you create your build, you can import it and export it, so that way you can share with others. And again, in the Skool community, you'll be able to access what we built today. Okay, cool. And whenever you connect a module to Make, you are going to get prompted to authenticate. I've already obviously authenticated with my Airtable account, with my Appify account, and also with my Cloudinary account. But whenever you connect for the first time, you're going to have to authenticate with your credentials. Okay. All right. So the base we're going to use is we're using TikTok reactions. And then as far as the table, it's going to be the table 1. And the triggered field in our case is we're going to use last modified time. And the label field we're going to use is my reaction video. This limit is fine, but this formula is important. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to select, we don't want this to trigger unless this reaction video is filled in. Okay. If the reaction video is filled in, we don't want this to trigger, because that's important. And like I mentioned earlier, we need 2 pieces. We need this URL and we need the reaction video. Okay. So what we want to say is not, and I actually have it pre-filled in here. We're going to say not my reaction video. And this my reaction video is the label of the column. So if we go here, my reaction video is the column, and you want to say it's equal to single quotes. I know that looks like a double quote, but we want to make sure it's 2 single quotes, because we want to make sure that this field is not empty. So that's what this formula is representing, saying that the my reaction video field is not empty. If it's not empty, then you want to proceed with this. Then you want to trigger this automation. All right, hit OK. And actually, if we choose manually now and hit OK, there's no items available. So let's just hit OK. Let's hit run this module only. Make sure it works, and let's say choose where to start, choose manually, and it's just that field should come up. Oh, it's not what's going on? Let's see. Oh, you know why? Because the reaction video is not in here. Ta-da! That's why it's not working. So what we need to do is add the reaction video. So I recorded a reaction video earlier today with this, so we are going to just grab the reaction video and we're just going to drop it into my reaction videos. Okay. Cool. So now my reaction videos here. So these are the 2 pieces that we need. So let's jump back over to Make, and let's choose where to start, choose manually. And then there it is. So it didn't populate because it was empty. So it was doing exactly what we said, right? So hit OK, click it, hit OK, and it was hit, say run this module only. And here it is. So you got a TikTok link, URL, and then we also have the reaction video. So the reaction video is here. So what's cool about it is Make apply the URL to our reaction video, so that way we can reference it in the future. Okay, cool. All right. So the next thing we need to do is we need to have a router. So a router allows you to spread your automation, so that way you can choose certain things that you want to run, and you can kind of have some kind of flow control. Okay, so let's say router. All right, so this is the router. All right, so the first piece we need to do is we need to scrape the video with Appify. Okay, so Appify, and I have a link I'm going to include a link to this video. I'll go into detail in one of my other videos on how to use Appify and how to set up everything with Appify. I'm not going to get into it in this video because I want to keep this video pretty short, but I'll put a link so that way you can go and check that video out to learn how to pretty much use Appify. But Appify is a really cool tool because what it allows you to do, it allows you to scrape data from anywhere. So they have different actors, they call it actors, where you can, scrape TikTok videos, Instagram, YouTube, and these different developers come in and they build these actors, if you will, that allows you to scrape different tools. But once in my other video, I'll go into it in great detail. All right, but in this, we got to say Appify. So with Appify, what we want to do is we want to run an actor, okay? And the actor that we're using in this particular case is TikTok video scraper, and this TikTok video scraper is actually created by Appify, or maintained by Appify, I should say. All right, so then what we want to do is I'm going to just copy and paste this JSON, and again, you get this JSON directly from Appify, but we just need to just change this field. So the only thing that's unique that we need here is this URL. So the URL we need is we're going to need this TikTok video URL, because again, what the goal is what we want to do is we want to download this video from Appify. Now we just need to rename this module. Let's rename it to Scrape TikTok Video. Okay, hit OK. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we hit save. And we have to always save as we go along, because ask me how I know, because I've lost a lot of work at times when you get a little computer glitch and not understand what's going on. Anyway, all right, next thing we need to do is we need to pause the automation, because once the video is scraped, we didn't want to give Appify time to scrape the video. So I usually create what's called like a delay. So I want to delay it for 2 minutes. So and this is by seconds, so it's 120 seconds. Hit OK. And let's just rename this to 2-minute nap. Okay. And let's give it a quick emoji just to keep this thing fun. All right. And let's see. Come on. Cool. All right. Awesome. 2-minute nap. Okay. All right. And the next thing we want to do is after we scrape the video, we want to pull that metadata and download that information, what's called a data set, right? So if we go back into Appify, what we could do here is we want to get the data set items. And on the data set items, what we need is the data set ID. Okay. And the data set ID is going to be pulled from what we scraped. Okay. So if we go here, we just need to go to default data set ID. And everything could remain the same at that point. So we keep everything else, we keep it clean in JSON format, and the limit is 100. That's fine. All right. So what we're going to do is we rename this to download TikTok video. Cool. And let's get another emoji. Let's see. All right. This one's cool. All right. We download it. Hit OK. And let's hit save. All right. So once we download the video, the next thing we need to do is we need to throw it in the Airtable, right? So Up Airtable, let's go here, click on Airtable. We may need to run this before we could do this, but let me just see if I can cheat a little bit. Let's go to Airtable. And what we want to do is we want to update a record. Okay. And the base is going to be TikTok reactions. And the table is going to be table 1. The record ID is, let's just collapse everything here. Let's just move everything here so you can see. Airtable, the record ID is going to be pulled from the trigger. This is the record ID, so we make sure we got the right record. All right. And what we want to do is we want to get the file URL. So what we want to do is we want to the video, right? So the file URL is going to be, let's see if we can pull it. No, so we need to write it so we can see the fields. Or let's see, you know what, I'm going to cheat. Let me cheat a little bit. I'm going to copy it from my automation so we can save a little time here. Okay. Let's see. All right, give me a second. This one is, I'm going to say okay for now. Straighten it up a little bit. This is going to be number 5. And what's cool about this, it numbers every step so that way we can know what step we're referring to. I'm going to show you how it makes sense in a second. All right. So we go to 5, and I'm going to copy this and cool. All right, cool. And actually, let me show you what I did. So what I did to cheat a little bit is, take a note. When you copy from modules, it's going to put it Oh, come on. My keyboard is acting up a little bit. All right, never mind. I'll just show you from it. Show you in here. All right, so when you go here, what you want to do is under file URL is so I really want to show you how to do it. So let me just hit a note here. Oh, let's see. Let's do it this way. Add a note. There we go. So whenever you copy and paste, like whenever you copy and paste like a field or anything here, like say if we were to copy this record ID and we were to paste it into like a text editor, it'll put like curly brackets on the outside of it, and the one, it represents the module number. So if we go to 1 here with the Airtable, it represents the module number here. Okay, so that way you can kind of manipulate it. So if you copy from other automations that you've done and you don't want to have to run the entire automation every time to produce fields that you need, then you can just copy it and then just change the number. So what I did is I copied this field from an automation that I showed you earlier, and I just changed it from number, I think it was number 8, I just changed it to number 5 because this is referring to this field here that's in here. But if we click on it, it's not going to show it because we haven't actually run the automation yet. So this automation, it doesn't know the fields unless it runs it. Because once it runs it once, it's going to populate all the fields that we need to pull from. But just to save on time, I just wanted to do that. So, and this is a good little hack that I'm showing you today. Okay. All right, cool. So what we're going to do next is this video duration field. Again, I have to do the same thing. Let me just copy this here. And what we can do is we can just paste, and instead of 8, we're gonna change it to 5. Okay, because that's what we're referring to, the module we're referring to. So let's just copy this and put this here, and this is the video duration and the download address. All right, cool. So we hit OK, and let's hit save, and we actually want to run it. So let's just delete it, and we will run everything. Again, we hit save. Let's make sure safe. Let's right click on it, choose where to start. And the reason I'm doing choose where to start is because this will automatically run whenever you add fields into the Airtable. But being that we are using the same thing and we're testing it, we have to choose manually. But after you build this, it's going to automatically just run by itself. So all right, so again, hit choose manually. Let's hit the object, hit OK, and let's run it. Okay. All right. So what's happening now? Again, it's pulling the information from TikTok, all the metadata from TikTok, and we're giving Appify time to run. We're giving it 2 minutes to run and pull all the information that it needs. Because if we didn't have this here, it's going to skip and jump into the data set. You notice how fast this ran, and then it wouldn't download the video because Appify hasn't been complete its job. So that's why I put in this 2-minute nap. It's a kind of a hack here. It actually completes a lot faster, but I like to just give it time just in case, Appify is doing a lot of back-end processes and their normal ETAs are a little bit slower. So this 2 minutes should be more than enough time for it to produce, or for it to produce and pull all the metadata from that video. Okay, so we'll show it in a second. So the 2-minute nap finally finished. So you never realize how long 2 minutes really is until you sit there and watch it, right? All right, so then what happened next is the video downloaded, okay, and then we uploaded it to the Airtable. So if we jump back over to the Airtable, we will notice again the TikTok video is here. The TikTok video got downloaded in this actual video file, okay, and if we actually expand it here, we can see it. Okay,
I brought the president.
All right, cool. So that's it off Airtable, and it showed again the 42-second duration. And then now we see the this is my reaction video here. Oh, you know what? That's one thing that Airtable needs to improve on. They don't, the .mov files, it doesn't support. You can still store it here, but it doesn't actually support the playback of MOV files, or .mov files, but MP4 it supports that. All right, so we're good here with our Airtable. Okay, we can actually close this as well, TikTok, and let's just open this here again. Okay, so let's add another route. Actually, before we do that, what I like to do as a safety precaution is when we run this module, we don't want it to scrape the video a second time. So what we want to do is add a filter here. So let's add a filter. So the filter we want to do is I want to say video downloaded. Has the video been downloaded, right? What we want to say is if the TikTok video URL field doesn't exist, then we want it to proceed. So in other words, if there's no value in this TikTok URL field, which we know that there is a value if we go back into here. So in this video URL field, it's a value in here. Okay, so when there's no value there, then we want this to proceed, right? We want this to actually produce the video. Okay, so that's just a safety precaution. So when we continue to run this automation, it's not going to continue to try to create the video and go through that process again. Okay, cool. All right, so the next piece we need to do is we need to go back into Airtable, and what we need to do next is we need to get the record. Okay, this is a new line in our router. Okay, and just so you know, each line is independent of each other. So when we create a new route, I should say, once we create a new route, it doesn't know anything about any previous routes. Okay, so we need to kind of introduce it to any new fields. All right, so the basis we're using again is we're going to use a TikTok reaction. And the table is going to be table 1. The record ID, we pull the record ID from the actual trigger, which is 1. And that's the ID right here. Okay, cool. All right, next, what we need to do is we need to use Cloudinary. Okay, so Cloudinary is a tool that allows you to manipulate videos. It allows you to concatenate videos or put videos together. It allows you to do like overlays, so it allows you to put like wording on top of videos, images, and all kinds of things on top of video. I actually going to put another link in this video that shows you detail on how to use Cloudinary, and I'll put the link to that video here. Okay, all right, so the cool thing about Cloudinary is that we can do everything via URL, so you can manipulate this video via a URL string, which is actually pretty awesome, a pretty awesome technology. All right, so let's go to Cloudinary, and what we're going to do in Cloudinary is we want to upload a resource. Okay, and again, Cloudinary is free to use. For the manipulation for this, you allow like $25 or something that they give you, and each time you run it, it's like pennies. So you really can't go through it, unless you're doing like a tremendous amount of video manipulation, but in our case, we're not. All right, so for the file type, we're going to use URL where the file is stored. So we're going to pull the URL, and the URL we're going to pull is, we are going to pull the TikTok video URL. So we go to TikTok video, and we want to select the URL. Okay, that's the URL we need. The resource type is going to be video. And we want to do, I created a folder called vertical videos. And what we're doing is we're uploading, and that's cool. All right, so what we want to do here next, and we'll just rename this. Let's rename this to upload TikTok video. All right, let's give it a quick emoji. Cool. All right, up. There you go. That's what I like. Cool. All right, hit OK. All right, and we're just going to duplicate this. We're going to clone this, and let's just rename this next one. We're going to rename it to upload my reaction. Upload my reaction video. Right, and this time, instead of TikTok URL, we are going to put our reaction video, and it's also going to be URL, and everything else will remain the same. Okay. All right, we'll close that. And the next thing we need to do is we need to do a video transformation. So this one, I'm actually going to just copy and paste it here. So just to see one time. Oops. Come on. Sorry, did it wrong. I called this then. Copy module. Let's paste it here. Cool. All right, so let's get that back here. Awesome. And we just need to change a few things. Okay. And I'm going to briefly explain what we need to do. Okay, cool. All right. So let's move this over here so we can see it. Cool. All right. So this, in the video that I linked earlier, I go into detail on how these manipulations work, on how these transformations, I should say, really work. So you put in your URL, you put in all of your specific information here. And then once you do that, then what you want to do is you want to replace this public ID. So place the public ID here with the public ID is going to be from 13. I'm sorry, not 13, number 8 is the public ID. And the next one is going to be the public ID of number 9. Okay, so let me explain. So Cloudinary uses what's called a public ID. A public ID, you can just look at it as a file name. They call it public IDs. So these public IDs reference the actual file. And I'll show you, in Cloudinary what I mean here. What we're doing in this particular case is we are going to scale the the TikTok video, you want to scale it small. So I want to scale it small to around, the width is going to be 250 pixels. That's why I say the scale the width to 250 pixels. And I'm going to put a yellow border around the video. The yellow border is going to be around 10 pixels wide, and then I'm going to then position it on the southeast corner of the video. So they have you could put northeast. So you think about it as 4 quadrants. So northeast, southeast, then it's going to be southwest and northwest. So it'll be those 4 quadrants. I want to put it on the lower right hand corner, so we're going to call it southeast. And then we are going to use the asset ID of the reaction video, and it's going to be the main video. It's going to be the reaction video, and then the TikTok video is going to be the smaller video. It's going to be on top of it, and we're going to combine those 2 videos. So that's what this one line is doing, believe it or not. Okay, and if we notice, when I hover over any of these references, it'll kind of pulsate the actual module, so let you know which modules we're working with. So that's another cool trick for you to know. All right, so let's hit okay. Let's do a little cleanup here a little bit. And what we're going to do next is you want to save these public IDs. Okay, so the reason I want to save the public IDs is because I want to use them on the next route. And again, like I mentioned, each route is independent, so it doesn't know what the last route did or any variables. So I'm just going to carry that over. So the way to do that is you can save the IDs. So let's do that real quick. So go to tools, and once you go into tools, let's just show more. What I want to do is I want to set multiple variables. All right, the first variable I want to set a variable name. We're going to call it let's call it TikTok video public ID. Okay, and the variable for the TikTok video public ID, the TikTok one is number 8. So let's go to number 8, and we're gonna say public ID for number, oops, oh, come on, it's the next line, variable public ID number 8, and then we want to add a second one. Oh, if I can spell public right, PUBLIC ID, TikTok video public ID. Next one, we gotta just call this one my reaction. My reaction public ID, and the variable name for my reaction is going to be number 9. So that's this one right here, public ID. Hit okay. Cool. And then we see to rename this to save public IDs. And the reason I'm saving the IDs is because what I want to do is in Cloudinary, instead of having the TikTok video, my reaction video, and then having the third video, which is going to be the combined, the transformed video, just to keep everything clean. I just want to delete the videos I don't need anymore. Only thing I need is really the combined video. So I just want to delete them. So I just want to save these public IDs so that way I can refer to it in the next route. Okay. All right. Emoji. I want to get the ID emoji. Cool. That's what I like. Awesome. Okay. And let's just go ahead and just build this out, and then we're just going to run the entire thing. Okay. All right. So the next one is going to be, again, we're going to go back into tools. And we want to, instead of save, we want to get multiple variables. Okay. So let's just go back here, and this is the first one we need. We'll just copy it over here. This variable, we want this variable. All right, let's hit okay. And then what's the next one? The next one is this one. So we just copy this, and we just add a second one. Cool. Okay, cool. So next thing we need to do is we just need to delete the resources. Okay. So we go back into Cloudinary and delete the resource. Okay, and the resource type is going to be video. Actually, we can toggle this off. The resource type is going to be a video, and the resource ID is going to be TikTok public ID. All right, hit okay, and so let's rename this to delete TikTok video. All right, okay, and we just clone this, and the second one is going to be, instead of TikTok, we're just switching this to my reaction public ID. Hit okay, and let's rename this to delete my reaction. My reaction video. Okay. All right, so let's tidy up. We hit save, and now we can run this puppy, and then we can see how it turns out. Okay, so let's do that. So again, we'll right click here, choose where to start, choose manually. Hit this object field and hit okay. Now, once we run this module, it should not go to this top one because, again, we already have this piece. It should start here and continue. All right, so let's test it out. Run once. Good. So you then run the top one. You see how it's a 0 here, meaning that it failed its filter. So meaning that it already knows that the video exists. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what the problem is. Let's see. Resource not found. The resource is not found. How is that? How, Sway? All right, so let's go into Cloudinary and let's take a look. All right, so let's do a refresh here. This is the Cloudinary back office. Okay. Maybe it ran a little too fast. We're saying that the resource is not found, which is, well, these are the two videos here. So the resources is there. So let's see. Let's go back into here. Let's see where we messed up. Okay. Oh, 916. All right, so being that we have this, let's just do this. Let's see. Oh, I did the asset ID. I did the wrong thing. There. So you see how it says public ID here, and I did asset ID. I chose the wrong field. So let's just collapse everything. And we need number 9, public ID. So that's where I messed up. Good. So the 9, and we need the public ID. I selected asset ID, so that's the wrong thing. That's why I didn't find the asset. Oh man, I'm not perfect. Almost swang for the home run, but I messed up. All right, cool. So let's try to run it again. Hit save, right click, choose where to start, and choose manually. And hit object, hit OK. All right, let's run this puppy again. Okay, upload a TikTok video, upload my reaction video. Now it's transforming the videos. It's combining both videos, and then it should clean everything up. We are gonna have 2 extra videos because we didn't delete that the first round. But let's go back into Cloudinary. Let's refresh this here, and then we should be able to see our video. It's gonna be 3 videos because we didn't do it the first time, but this is the one we need right here. So let's open this one up, and let's take a look. Oh, it came out kind of big. We can fix that.
I'm calling the president. President, we need a National Guard.
All right, it came out kind of big, but let's just fix that. All right, so let's change that. So let's go back into Cloudinary. I think I know why, because when I created my video, my reaction video, I did it at a low resolution and it shrunk it. So let's just do this. Let's just delete these and let's start over again. Let's delete this. All right, delete these 3 assets and let's go back here. And what we could do is we can make it a little smaller. So if we go to video transformation and we change this to, instead of 250, let's just change it to 125 as the width, and it should make it a lot smaller. Okay, hit OK, hit save, and let's try to run this again. All right, let's choose where to start. And it should happen pretty fast. Hit this, hit OK, hit run once. Okay, let's transform it again. Should be done in a few seconds. Once it's done, it's going to clean up everything. So let's go back into Cloudinary and let's hit a quick refresh. And it should be 1 video there this time. Cool. Let's go onto it. Open it up. Cool. Now let's play it.
Call the president. President, we need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots. So call the dogs off. Send the National Guard, please. They need emergency help. Please help these. Oh, Anna. They're coming. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. Help is on the way. I promise you. Help. Brother, that called the National Guard. Okay. He said the National Guard, help is on the way. I promise you. In 10 minutes, help will be here. In 10 minutes. Okay, you come. I'll be on it. He coming. Let's send her out.
Oh, the volume is super low, sorry. All right, cool. So you get the gist. You get the gist of it. All right. So this video is actually pretty simple, right? So all you have to do is, again, in Make, you can just go and use a Cloudinary. And again, this is only 3 pieces that you need. You just need Airtable, Appify, and Cloudinary. And you could all do this on the fly. Again, it's partially automated because it requires you to actually create the reaction video. Okay. So I hope that you found some value in this video. Do me a favor, smash the bell, smash the subscribe button, hit the like, share this video with other people who can use this, and I will see you on the next video. Take care. Peace.